Hey everyone, welcome to our video about the 5 most devastating financial crises in the world. Today, we're going to be discussing the events and circumstances that led to these crises, as well as their far-reaching consequences. Whether you're a student of economics, a business owner, or simply someone who's interested in history, this video will give you an in-depth understanding of some of the most significant financial crises in recent history. So, make sure you stick around until the end of the video, and if you haven't already, hit that subscribe button and notification bell to stay updated with our latest videos. 1. The Great Depression. The Great Depression of the 1930s was one of the most severe economic downturns in history. It began with the stock market crash in 1929 and led to high levels of unemployment, poverty, and social unrest. The root causes of the Great Depression were many and complex, including overproduction, declining consumer spending, and a lack of government regulation. Throughout this section, we'll delve into the specific factors that contributed to the crisis, and how governments responded to it. We'll also discuss the impact of the Great Depression on individuals, families, and communities, both in the United States and around the world. 2. The Suez Crisis. The Suez Crisis of 1956 was a political and economic crisis that arose from the nationalization of the Suez Canal by the Egyptian government. The crisis had far-reaching consequences, including an oil crisis and a significant impact on global trade. We'll explore the events leading up to the crisis, including the role of the British and French governments, as well as the response of the United States. We'll also discuss the aftermath of the crisis and its impact on the global economy. 3. The International Debt Crisis. The international debt crisis of the 1980s was a period when many developing countries, particularly in Latin America and Africa, faced a debt crisis due to high borrowing and low growth rates. We'll talk about the root causes of the crisis, including the role of international financial institutions such as the IMF and the World Bank. We'll also discuss the measures taken to address the crisis, including debt relief and structural adjustment programs, and their impact on affected countries. 4. The East Asian Crisis. The East Asian Crisis of 1997 was a financial crisis that affected several East Asian countries, including Thailand, Indonesia, and South Korea. The crisis was triggered by a currency crisis and led to a severe economic recession. We'll discuss the causes of the crisis, including the role of speculative investment and government policies. We'll also talk about the measures taken to address the crisis and their effectiveness, as well as the lessons learned from the crisis. 5. The Latin American Debt Crisis and the Great Recession. The Latin American debt crisis of the 1980s and the Great Recession of 2008-09 were two of the most significant financial crises in recent history. The former affected many countries in Latin America, while the latter was a global crisis that originated in the United States housing market. We'll discuss the causes and consequences of both crises, including the role of financial deregulation, subprime mortgages, and complex financial instruments. We'll also talk about the measures taken to address these crises and their effectiveness, as well as the lasting impact of these events on the global economy. That wraps up our video about the 5 most devastating financial crises in the world. We hope that this video has given you a deeper understanding of the complex factors that can lead to financial crises, as well as the far-reaching impact they can have on the global economy. Don't forget to hit that like button and subscribe.